Now, if we notice here in area 100, we have a broadcast environment. We have a switch. We got more than one device in same network. 10.123.0.0/16. So here, if there is a DR-BDR election, it is good. Okay, let's go and check in R1. On R1, we don't have OSPF. On all other routers, we have configured OSPF. On R1, let us go and configure interface range Ethernet 00. Ethernet 00, loopback 0. And I say IP OSPF 1 area 100. I'm expecting neighbor with router 3 and router 2. Okay, router 2 has formed neighbor. So router 1 has formed neighbor with router 2, and router 1 has also formed neighbor with router 3. Okay, now show IP OSPF neighbors. When I can see the one with the bigger router ID is the DR, which is router 3. The second biggest in this broadcast domain. In this broadcast domain, the BDR is router 2. See how many DR you will have in an area. It depends on how many broadcast domain. It depends on how many LAN. No, I'm just talking about the DR. How many DRs you will find within an area is a wrong question. Some people, they ask that question. How many DR will be there in an area? How do we know? Without seeing the topology, we cannot say that. You see, yeah, how many LAN in area 200, you tell me, please? How many LAN you have in area 100? Only one. Only one. So there will be only one DR. So here, for this LAN, there will be one DR. Do you see why I am showing router 3, router 1, and router 2? You see, if you don't see what I am showing, you should tell me. So where is the pen? Here it is. Here. Now, for this local area network, we'll have one DR. So this is the DR, and this is the BDR, and this is DR other. Now, listen. In this LAN, there's going to be another DR, which is going to be this one. And this is going to be BDR. Likewise, tell me what will be the DR in this LAN. What side? Which side? Router 5 side or router 4 side? Which side will be the DR? Yes. So router 4 is a BDR as well as a DR. It's a DR for the subnet. It's a BDR for the other subnet, other LAN. Yeah. So it is per interface. It is not per device. DR BDR is per interface. So this is going to be a DR. And then here, this is going to be the DR and this is going to be the BDR. Likewise, this is going to be DR and this is going to be BDR. Here also this is going to be BDR. This is going to be D. What is the use of these DR and BDR? It's not really useful. Why? Because there is only two routers. There are only two routers. Why there is need for a DR BDR election? Now this is the reason why we learned that NBMA network types. You see, I can now go to router 8. I'll go to router 8. Before that, I'll go to router 7 and show you. Router 7 is going to say router 6 has BDR. Yes or no? It is true. Router 6 is a BDR. And what about router 8? Show IP OSPF neighbor. Even router 8 says router 6 is a BDR. Now, we want to avoid this unnecessary unwanted election. So what I can do is I can go simply to interface Ethernet 00 IP OSPF network type point to point. Boom. See? Likewise, I have to do it on the other side, router 6 side. Oh, no. Yeah, you must. Yeah, of course. Otherwise, you lose a neighbor. So, interface Ethernet 00 IP OSPF network type point to point. Point to point. Now you'll see neighborship coming up. You see? It went down and it has come back again. Now go to router 8 and check now. Earlier when we were checking, it was saying full state, BDR, all the stuff. Now it won't say that. You see, now it says full state. That's all. Did you notice the priority is 0? You see, it did not change priority. Earlier the priority was 1. When you say point to point, priority will be automatically becoming 0. You know why? Because if the priority is 0, there will not be DR BDR election for that interface. Now, yeah. Now I'm asking you a question. You try to answer this. You see, I have changed into what? Point to point. And the priority went into 0. If I change this priority as 10, will there be any DR BDR election again? No. No. Because we have configured it as point to point. So the priority that you set, it will be ineffective. Let me also go to router 7 and do this. Right now, if you go to router 6 and say show IP OSPF neighbor, earlier you had DR BDR here also, but now it is not showing for 8. And now after configuring for these two interface, facing 5 and facing 7, you see interface range. It's a good practice to make it as point to point if you're sure that you don't connect to more than one router on the same LAN. On the same LAN, if you don't connect to more than one router, it is good to have point to point. Interface range Ethernet 0/0 hyphen. No. Same LAN I meant. I meant same LAN. E01 is one LAN. E02 is another LAN, isn't it? Another broadcast domain. Now I'm saying IP OSPF network type point to point. Likewise, I have to do it on router 7. Interface Ethernet 00 IP OSPF network type. Okay, Now let's go to router 6 and check. Okay, no, I also want to go to router 5. All right. Enable interface range Ethernet 0/0/1 hyphen 0/0 hyphen 1. IP OSPF network type 0.2. And just one more router. No, two more. On router 4 also I have to do. Router 4 also I have to go to those two interfaces, isn't it? Because we don't have more than one device in the LAN. Ethernet 0/0. IP OSPF network type 0.2. Okay, next I'll go to router 3. Interface Ethernet 0/1 IP OSPF network type 0.2. Okay, now we have not configured point-to-point on Ethernet 0/0 of router 3. Okay, all right, because there is need for a DR/BDR election. We do not want to disturb that. Fine. Ethernet 0/0 is not point-to-point. You want to see? Let me show you. Show IP OSPF interface Ethernet 0/0. You see, Ethernet 0/0 is still broadcast, isn't it? Whereas Ethernet 0/1 is point-to-point. Yeah, point-to-point. Okay, now there won't be DR/BDR wherever the point-to-point is. Fine. Now, do you remember the first LSA type is called router LSA? This LSA comes out from every router. Now let us go to R1, okay, to check this. And not only router ID, the prefixes connected will also be shared.